happy Monday, and welcome to Cocktails with the Queens. I'm back with my girls, Vivica A. Fox and Lisa Ray. Selena Johnson will be joining us later because our girl is living her best life on vacation. All right, now, tonight we're going to be dishing about everything that's trending in the news and on social media, and of course, a little bit of our girl talk in Queendom, so you want to stick around for that. Ladies, what's good, everybody? How's everybody doing, beautiful ladies?
Oh, good. About Will, I tell you.
Well, Lisa Ray, let's just jump right in.
Right.
Right, because everybody's talking about it. It's so many memes. What is it? Memes. Whatever. What's those emojis and jokes?
Yes.
I'm here for it all. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. Oh, what are you saying? It's the gift that keeps on giving.
There it is.
And you know what? You almost hate to. It's like a guilty pleasure at this point. It's almost like you don't want to hear because it's like, okay, enough already. But what is it?
Right. And let me forward it to my girls.
Our group chat is popping.
What? Okay. What about our side? Okay, we won't say what our conversation was, but after the show, we stayed on Zoom and we had we got into it about the goings on, and that's gonna be Queens After Dark one day, maybe.
I know that's right. You know what? It was really wonderful for us. I think that was the longest that we had stayed on afterwards. We talked for 45 minutes. I literally had to say, y'all, I was in New York. So I was like, the bar was about to close. I was about to miss my chicken downstairs. But, that's what you have to know about us, to all of our fans out there, is that, we really are friends and we've really developed a wonderful sisterhood from Cocktails with Queens that I'm really enjoying.
I love that we talked about what we talked about on the show, but when we off work, not that the fans are not getting the full us, because they are, but when you're not at work, you can actually go there a little bit more. It's all I'm saying.
We very well couldn't bleep out everything for the show. I mean, say that the real will be like beep 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 beep, and they wouldn't say anything.
Ladies, I really can't wait for us the day where we can all either be together in studio or even do a vacation together, so we can kind of get the vibes around each other. Because every time we are hanging out,
if I recall, Miss Claudia, whose birthday is coming up next week, that we were supposed to do Aruba and do a girls getaway, but you done kicked us to the curb and now you go with your girls to Miami. But you know what? Me and Lisa Ray might pop up on you.
Oh my God, I have no plan so far. I just threw it out there. I don't have a plan, so I don't have a plan yet. So y'all I would love for y'all to come to Miami next week. My birthday's on the 12th. Please pop up. We'll go to Prime 112. We'll get a boat. We'll go to a strip club. We'll have fun.
Claudia.
I'm the private dancer. I got that part down pat. What about the heat and the sun? I need that.
I might do it. I'm just might.
We got the week off.
Let's talk after the show.
Okay. No, I wanted to go, but Vivica, you do a movie every single Tuesday, and Lisa Ray be all over the world. Y'all be booked. Y'all be booked, y'all.
All right, we gonna figure it out after the show. So let's get into these topics for our killers.
What else? Anybody sipping on anything today?
But of course, darling. I have my Pinot Noir in a Baccarat glass,
and I always know how to tea, and you can tell from this right here.
And I'm always last minute and ghetto with my Tito's and lemonade.
Girl, why does that look like hypnotic? You lying. That's hypnotic. You got that off that back shelf.
I would not be able to do it. Well, maybe I should try. You know what? I'm gonna drink Hypnotic with y'all in Miami when we all get together. That's what I'm gonna do.
Hypnotic and Alizé.
All right, ladies, let's get into the show. Okay, the Grammys were last night. Here's a rundown of some of the winners. Jasmine Sullivan won Grammy for Best R&B Album. Silk Sonic won Song of the Year, and Album of the Year went to Jon Batiste, who delivered an amazing performance. Did you ladies catch some of the performances of the Grammys? And if so, what did y'all think? Vivica, did you see it?
Yes, I caught bits and parts of it because, to be very honest with you, you know me, I am a huge sports fan. So I was watching the NCAA women's final. Congratulations to Dawn Staley and South Carolina for winning the women's championship. The game was off the chains. They beat UConn. It was a good game. They jumped out from Jump Street. UConn tried to come back a little bit, but they got them. So congratulations to Dawn Staley, one of the highest paid females coaches out there. And then they clicked over to the Grammys. And so I got to see Jon Batiste, who, by the way, did an awesome job. His performance was so fun, and he was genuinely shocked when he won that last award of the night. He was just like, wow.
People said everybody was, because a lot of people don't know who he was. Doesn't he do the music for a late show?
Yes, he does he's the band leader for Stephen Colbert, I believe, Stephen Colbert show. And he's always so talented and so fun on that show. So to see him win a Grammy, he's going to go back to work and go, today's price is...
You know what? Thank you for that, because I don't know if I've been under a rock or under a plant, but either way, I was saying the same thing. I was like, well, who is he and what does he sing? I did not know. I did not catch the performance. That was not one that I thought, but I did know that he won. And I was like, won for what? So, see, that's why our show is so good, because you're not only inform everybody out there, but you inform right here too. You know what I mean? That's that devil advocate thing. But I thought Little Nas, and I would say Little Nas, his performance for me stood out because when he first started performing, he wasn't as good as he is now. I could see where he's developed into a different type of artist now, that he's more comfortable with himself. Not to mention my girlfriend is his performance coach. So,
nice.
And
also Jay-Z and Kanye are now tied for the most Grammys. Like they both got, and then Jay-Z and Beyonce together as a couple, they got like 53 Grammys in that house.
Yeah,
like,
they love it.
Like that is.
Beyonce is Beyonce's top female, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Deservingly so.
Man, all right, y'all. Okay, and it was in Vegas. I was gonna go, but I knew where I was gonna end up. I probably would have missed the show.
Yeah, crap tables. We know that. But when the stage was outside, I couldn't help but think, is it cold? Because that desert cold is a different type of cold. I mean, it wasn't hot. I wouldn't have wanted to be outside.
Yeah,
it has warmed up all of a sudden, huh? It was cold in New York. I was in New York last week,
Mm-hmm. And now, well, you know how it is. It's cold, and all of a sudden it just turns around and feel like you're going through menopause with the hot flashes. Well, I'm speaking for myself. All right, y'all. Speaking of things getting hot, Lee Daniels and Monique have buried the hatchet after years of tension that played out in the media between the two. On Friday, Daniels joined Monique on stage and apologized to her publicly. Check this out.
I am so sorry for hurting you in any way that I did. Y'all, she was my best friend. My best friend. Y'all think that Precious was just, that was God working through both of us.
Monique posted an image of her and Daniels after the show with the caption, no caption needed. I love us for real. It's been reported that Monique will replace Octavia Spencer in Daniels' Netflix thriller, Demon House. What are your ladies' thoughts on Lee Daniels and Monique reconciling after 13 years of not speaking? Lisa Ray, let's go to you.
I had no idea it's been 13 years, but here's the thing. It's always great to have an apology because it lets everybody know that she was not trying to make up any stories, that she stood true in her truth, and that she had to call an ace of spade. And most people crumble, you know what I mean? Most people after that kind of pressure, and because her career took a big hit, and a lot of fans was, no longer on board. And so she still stuck to her guns. And so that says a lot about the type of woman that she is to me. And to forgive after 13 years, because after 13 years, you can almost you can move on from a person. That's a long time. You can go, I ain't part of your life, you ain't part of mine. Look here, I done moved on and got on. I could care less. You can absolutely say that. But like he said, if it was God's work, and it had to be some type of foundation of something stronger than what we believe for them to have, for them to reconcile the way that they did on that stage, and for her now to step right into a role that could have been anybody else's, but it must have been waiting for her. I think that that's a huge way to apologize and make it right. I mean, I think the season of apology is always a season to be able to be reckoned with, you know?
Agreed.
Nothing like apologizing with the job offer, right, Vivica? What do you think about this?
Absolutely. I was thrilled when I saw this moment happen on stage and in front of everyone. I absolutely commend Lee Daniels for being a man and saying, I will come and do this in front of everybody. I know this moment is absolutely going to go viral. There was a little bit of controversy that, 50 Cent wanted to take all the credit, but what's the lady's name that
T.S. Madison is the one that gets the credit.
Originally talked to Lee Daniels about, hey, it's time to do this. So shout out to both of them, that for 50 to have the courage to put it out there, because him, he gonna always say what he wants to say and get something popping off. That's just what kind of guy is. But this time, 50, you did a good thing. You really, really did a good thing. And I'm very proud of you for encouraging peace.
Yeah, that was nice. And I hope they don't get caught up. And I think when you apologize to someone, right, you shouldn't expect to get every single little thing addressed. I think when you start going over the little details, that's when you can reignite an argument. Yeah. So I think if you're both at the point where it's like, look, there's probably some things I'll never get, but the big scheme, the grand scheme of things, you got your apology publicly. And if you can leave it at that without going through and going over a fine tooth comb.
Well, you said.
Right. That's how you don't really go forward. So if you're just like, listen, whatever it was, I'm sorry for everything I did to hurt you. And that's doing it publicly. Listen, I can't take nothing away from the man for doing it. I think it's awesome because it was.
I want to know this is, the job that Octavia had, did she take it away from her, or it was just up for the grab?
Right.
What happened?
Maybe there was a scheduling conflict. I mean, I can't just see Octavia Spencer walking away from an opportunity working with Lee Daniels.
How could
especially
it be?
After Lee Daniels has had, such an amazing streak with, especially working with women, from Empire to the Billie Holiday versus United States story. I can't see her just like, nah, I ain't doing this.
Right. But isn't that convenient? That was right on time.
It was God's time. God's time.
It does seem like the planets kind of lined up for this thing to happen. Yes. From Monique getting more exposure about her story and people taking it seriously and going on T.S. Madison's show, then Lee Daniels going on T.S. Madison's show, which that episode will premiere Wednesday right after TGIF. You don't want to miss that episode. That car conversation is what made this thing happen. And the planets lined up for this to happen, for that position to be available. I'm sure, and I don't like how it's kind of being reported, I'm sure he didn't snatch a job away from Octavia Spencer and just say, you're fired.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was scheduling like y'all said.
And you know what? And after the last week that we had, which was, the last Monday, we were sitting in bewilderment. For us this week to be sitting in peace and happiness.
Bewilderment, will what?
You heard it. It's right, bewilderment.
That was pretty good. I can take it.
You couldn't help yourself, did you, Lisa Ray? I threw that right there to you. Bow.
I like that.
But this week to be starting off the week with peace and happiness and a reconciliation that everyone really wanted to happen. Thank you, God. Thank you.
We ain't all the way out to clear because.
Oh, dang! Don't pull us back in. Don't do it.
Before we talk about the updates to the Will Smith story, I want to celebrate Will Packer and his producer Shayla Cohen for making history, for leading the first all-Black production team for the Oscars. Unfortunately, the moment was stripped away from Packer and Cohen after Will and Chris incident, but we definitely got to acknowledge that because that was a lot of things got lost in the sauce because of the nonsense, right? So what are your thoughts on Will Packer making history by producing this year's Oscars to huge ratings? Vivica, let's start with you.
I was about to go right to the numbers because if it don't make numbers, if you don't get them numbers, it don't make sense and you will not be back.
Mm-hmm. I got it. Will not. Got it.
Shut up.
Y'all are full of them tonight, okay?
But Will Packer, kudos to you. Like I told you guys last week, that was one of the main things that bothered me, was that, here this was a Black producing team, and for that incident to happen, kind of put a shadow on. So I'm glad to hear that the ratings were amazing, the show was amazing, and that he can smile again, because he really, really did a good job.
And people want to make it clear that in the chat, they're like, please, ladies, Kiara J says, Claudia, please tell Lisa Ray that it was Octavia's schedule. And then Omar says, Octavia has another show on Apple TV. So here at Cocktails with Queens, we're all about the facts. Okay, we got y'all. We good. Go ahead, Lisa Ray.
Thank you. Thank you, fans. We appreciate that check.
We absolutely do. And for Will Packer, I text my friend, and I told him how very proud of him that I am. And yeah, what Vivica said, he's making history. He's doing big things. And when you do big things, you start doing bigger things. Who knows what's going to happen now? Call me.
Right? What's the Cocktails with Queens movie? Why can't we be Girls Trip the 40-50 version? Can we do that? Can we do that?
We can just simply do Cocktails with Queens, the movie.
Okay.
Okay.
We're waiting.
Cocktails with Queens in Miami. Cocktails with Queens in Atlanta. Cocktails with Queens in New York. Cocktails with Queens in Jamaica. It could be, we can have a whole, thing of movies, Yeah.
And we're gonna go on tour. I promise you that. All right, ladies, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and guess who's joining us when we come back? Our friend, Miss Selena Johnson from vacation. We'll be right back with more Cocktails with Queens after the break.
Yes.
Back to Cocktails with the Queens. The show wasn't complete without our fourth queen. Miss Selena Johnson is joining us from her vacation with the summer glow. Welcome to the show, girlfriend. You all right?
Hey, girl. Hey, child. Just having a time, sitting here thinking that I'm on Eastern time, and I'm not. When I tell you, I thought I was on time, and I wasn't. And so I had to go throw some piece of lipstick on and throw like a little piece of a cheek and run. At least they talk about my eyelashes. She said my eyelashes is a fool because they on the computer, everybody hair is like this, honey. You got, everybody's sharp, and I'm sitting here like, I'm in mom mode.
Selena, you're here. It's all good.
I'm in mother mode. Okay, so
you look good.
That's all good. We're glad that you're here, girl.
Thank you.
Well, let's get back into the shenanigans. Now we gotta listen. I'm sorry. I gotta apologize. First of all, it's Kanye West every single week. Now it's just gonna be Will for a little bit longer. There's just a couple of things we gotta talk about because a lot of people have been chiming in, and I want to get these angles from y'all. So it's been reported that 2 of Will Smith's films are currently on pause because of his actions at the Oscars. Now, according to Variety, Smith's upcoming Netflix movie Fast and Loose has come to a halt, and Netflix isn't ready to move forward with the movie. And according to The Hollywood Reporter, the 4th installment of Bad Boys film franchise with Martin Lawrence has also been halted by Sony. How long do you think this slap will impact, Will's career? Let's start with you, Selena. What do you think about this?
It irritated me so bad. Because I was just like, man, why that's stupid. See what you did? Like, why would you do what you did? Now look, they're sitting on G waiting on O. And when I say they, I just mean they. They're sitting on G, they're waiting on O for us to mess up. Like, why would you give them that energy? Why would you give them that open? It pissed me off real bad for a whole bunch of reasons. Just the whole thing, like you just jammed up everything. You just messed up everything. It got on my nerve.
Okay. Vivica, what do you think?
Well, this is what happens. No one is, we're finding out, as above karma and above the law, to be very honest with you. I mean, it's just, here we go. I don't know. Every action has a reaction, and you have to realize that it's more than just you. And like you said, Selena, I've been angry all week about it. Like, wow, the biggest night of your life, you blew it. Mm-hmm. And I never ever thought I would ever see the day where Will Smith is bad for business.
Yeah, like the most commercial friendly, family friendly guy ever, like in history. Lisa Ray,
Will Smith had 8 consecutive $100 million box office hits.
I'll say it before and I'll say it again. It's levels to this. And when you get to that type of level, just like Denzel said, with the height of your career and when you're high, that's when the devil comes. And Michelle Obama said it, when they go low, we go high. But this is an example of that you are not above it. You can't be that high, you know what I mean? And that they are human, you know, and I am, you know, split on this because of course you like, that's a damn shame, you know, and then the other side is, you know, I've worked with him and for him, you know, and I've been around them. And so, you know, you're right. He's very charming. We don't expect this from Will the Fresh Prince. And maybe that's part of the problem. You know what I mean? We're not allowing him to be who he really is or whatever. So now we're shocked that this has happened. You know what I mean? Because for him, it's like, no, you of all people, you should know better. This should never happen from you. Because, I mean, let's just be honest. Nah, come on. If y'all heard I smack somebody, y'all be like, yeah.
They probably had it coming.
But be like, well, yeah.
You know, but for him, we're like, what? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you're so cool, calm, and collected, and you're our token. You know what I mean? There's just a couple of us. You know what I mean? So when we make it, we expecting you all to pave the way so we can bust through too. And so when you don't and you do what you did, it's like, oh no, we gotta start all over. Not you too. It's that, you know what I mean? And it's like, wow. And they're going to make an example because I feel like they making an example now. They like, we gonna snatch this, and that, and we're gonna show you that you thought you were, but you're not. And it's like,
he was slated, Will Smith was slated to me to become this generation's Sidney Poitier.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Someone that you could have in your home, someone that you always looked up to, someone that had the reputation of being a gentleman and a class act.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he can still fix this. I really do. But I feel like a couple of things are not happening and are happening. First, Jada, where are you? Protect your husband. We should be hearing from you. We should hear how hurt you were, or was it not a bit like, what are you doing, Jada Pinkett? And not to put this on her because she did not slap anyone, but I would like to hear from you, a united front. And then Will, a conversation needs to be had. We need some answers about this, so we can rock with you. We can understand where you are. But at the end of the day, it sucks that it was Will Smith, because anyone who's been around him, and y'all know him way more than I've just been around him a couple of times, one of the nicest humans you'll ever be around in Hollywood.
But what happened when they did the red table? I heard that someone said that they did a red table. And
they did it yet.
No, that was just something that was released that it was supposed to happen. I mean,
it probably will though, and that red table has not been good for them. And I'm going to say that it needs to be with somebody else reputable. Jada Pinkett right now, Smith, to me, is not the person that it needs to be with, like Oprah at this point. Damage control, right? It's someone that's sensible, that can really get those hard questions. Not your wife that was part of the scandal, okay? And Will, the fact that it sucks that it's you, and it sucks that we had to witness your breakdown, but at the end of the day, it was still an assault. And if we let this fly, every single presenter at every other award show, it just sets a bad precedence. Exactly. And it sucks that it happened to be you of all people, because you're a male Cinderella success story. You really are. You know what I mean? Like your trajectory, your career, rapper to box office superstar, that we likable guy, commercial friendly, and it sucks that it's you. And they have no choice. Like, what is the option? If they say, it's not a big deal, what does that say to people that are watching? And if we cancel, it's like, oh, they're canceling him because he's a black man. No, you assaulted someone.
During the biggest night of Hollywood.
There are a couple things that have been running through my mind since last week. First of all, that red table, if you gonna come down to that red table, you better have Chris Rock with you. Don't bring your ass down to that table and be there by yourself, because don't nobody want to hear nothing y'all got to say by yourself. I
don't think he should do their red table at all. I don't think they should.
I'm saying, if you're gonna have real healing and a true apology, and you really want to get to it, you need to have him on that table with you. If you do not, no one wants to see another conversation with you and Jada. I'm sorry, I don't.
That's how we got here.
I was thinking about something Lisa Ray said last week that really lived with me. She had a very good point. She said it during the break, but it was a very good point. She said, you know, I think to myself, she said, when I sit and think about it, I think like, who does somebody think they are where they could just walk up to anywhere, anybody, anywhere. And it doesn't matter if you're black, white, yellow, green, blue, anywhere. You could be in the grocery store. I don't care who, why, what you're doing, the Oscars, the Grammys, whatever. What would make a person think that they could walk up to anyone and just smack them? You know what I'm saying?
Get no repercussion back.
You know what I'm saying? And not have no repercussion or anything. And then I thought about how we talked about, and I was one of them was like, you know, when is it okay to say things? When is it not? Well, I thought about this too. As talk show hosts, now y'all come with me and let me know how you feel about this, because as talk show hosts, well, we about to go, so I'm not going to go into it. But when we come back, I want to ask y'all a real legit question about this situation in terms of talk show hosting.
Okay.
Wait, I think it's a little early. Okay, no, let's go ahead. You got time.
I can't. Okay, because I didn't want to. It's okay. So we're talk show hosts, but we're also celebrities and entertainers, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're a celebrity, you live a private life. You don't have to let anyone in your life. But when you are a talk show host, you are a media personality, it is a given. It is a given that you're going to criticize things. It is your job. You're going to weigh in on things, and you're probably going to get some feedback here and there. You're probably going to get some negative feedback, some positive feedback. Either way it go, you got to be ready for it. Red Table Talk. You're saying I'm a talk show host. Yeah. You're saying I'm a talk show person. So now, and then not only that, you did it with your family. You allowed people into that family dynamic and then got mad when people started to be like, oh, well, what about this and not liking this and not liking that? And then you try to blame it on a lash out or a smack back or any of that. You getting mad. I don't want to hear nothing about being mad about no August Alsinas or any of that anymore, because as a family component, and I just sat and really thought about this, we're not related. We're talk show hosts. Their family, they did a generational family show and allowed people into that space. You see what I'm saying? In a personal way. So you have to be okay with whatever comes from that, right?
Good.
Am I over? You know, am I tripping or?
Selena, I agree with you absolutely.
I thought about this week.
I said that's what happens when you, as a public figure, decide that you're going to reveal parts of your public. It's open for scrutiny, and not only scrutiny, open for jokes. I learned that myself the hard way. You'll learn in the future, less is more. So you then can't decide that when either one has an opinion or cracks a joke, you got to kind of take it. And sometimes you can take it and reflect and grow from it. Mm-hmm. Not want to assault someone or commit a crime behind it. You can't have it both ways.
And I'll say this because, I have put my hand on folks, and I have said many things that has made me halt. But doggone it, I have learned from those things that I have done and from what people have said back to me. Mm-hmm. And it made me stop, and it made me say, who do you think you are? Like, seriously.
That's what I thought about you saying that. And I was like, right.
And nobody's saying.
I have a different platform now. People are watching in a different way. So now I got a granddaughter. I have a daughter. So it's like, so don't be about, just don't talk about it. Be about it. I can't give that example away and not be the example myself. So when I said it's levels to this, we're looking at him like, you are the leveler. You know what I mean? It's like you there.
And no one's expecting anyone to be superhuman and to not have a reaction. Right. We've all put our personal, we've all put relationships out there, disagreements with family, health condition. We've all put ourselves out there in an interview because that's what we get asked, right? We get asked questions about our lives because there is interest. So when you talk about it, you have to know that someone might have a problem with it. And people have said hurtful stuff to all four of these squares, mean, horrible things. And then we're not saying, Will, that you shouldn't have been hurt. We're not saying, Jada, that you're not human and you shouldn't have felt a way. It's the reaction. Imagine if we could slap every person that talked about 50 to you, Vivica, that talked about your marriage, Selena, that talked about you and your sister, Lisa Ray, that talked about me, can't get a man, I'm a hoe. Like we would be in jail for life.
Hand to be read.
Right. So it's like
that fell off.
So we have, what am I saying? We have to take that, and we've all done a fine job of taking it without going that far. And it was way worse. I'm sorry. It was way worse than that moment. 10 times worse than that.
They chose media. They chose media.
You
chose to be Red Table Talk. Like you don't have to be Red Table Talk. You don't have to be a personality that speaks your life and you don't have to do any of that. Look at Beyonce and Jay-Z. They're very private. They're very private. There are people that live very private and chill, but you all did not choose to do that. If you chose to heal, too much is old, much is required. You know what I'm saying? So I thought about that this week. Like, wait a minute. They're talk show hosts like us. We have to take backlash. So do they.
But listen, not only that, then there was a book that went out. It was the most open they had ever been. So, you know.
And I thought that was good.
I did too.
But I'm amazed at vets in the industry, that surprise and that reaction when they've both been around for a long time and had way worse stuff said about both of them. I'm going to leave it at that because we got to take a break. And my cat keeps trying to put his butt in my face. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be back for more Cocktails with Queens after this. The Cocktails with the Queens. Listen, I'm going to address something in the chat. I keep seeing people saying, oh, you're hating on Jada. Y'all hating on Jada. No one's hating on Jada. This is what you hold your sisters accountable. She ain't my real sister, but you hold each other accountable. And we've addressed Will, but we're also acknowledging that it's just not about just Will by himself. Like they're a couple, and it's not about hating. When we discuss these people, it's not hating. Like, you know, when we hate on someone, there's like one person I kind of hate on a little bit. I don't like. That's a horrible person. But for the most part, you mean like, oh, her too.
Candace Owens, honey, she can get. I don't care if she save a cat out of a tree. She still did it.
I'm saying, I think we've been gentle with. I don't think we've been hating on her.
No, because that's the thing. We saw that other angle in which they got Jada, and we saw her laughing too. And so we have to address that because at some point, you know, I don't know about y'all, and I do know about y'all. You got that good old girlfriend that's gonna go, not right now. Hey.
Stop it.
And I actually think it means more coming from this panel who's actually worked with them, knows them, been around them. I feel like if we didn't address her, y'all would say we was man bashing, right? And if we do address her, it's hating. Like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I'm gonna slap somebody when I see y'all in the comments. When I see y'all,
but it's fine. People can have it's fine. Them in the comments, the people in the comments are also having their opinions too, and their opinions are just as justifiable as ours. And that's the beauty. That's just the beauty of having a conversation. That's what it is.
But we're about to have a positive conversation now. We're going to put that on pause for a second. We've reached the part of the show where we talk about our personal lives, relationships, and how we've overcome obstacles in our own lives. Welcome to our queendom. All right, tonight's topic will focus on the importance of women taking care of their health between ages of 40 and 64. Now, MedlinePlus.gov published an article that you should visit your healthcare provider from time to time, even if you're healthy. The purpose of the visits is to screen for medical issues, assess your risk for future medical problems, encourage a healthy lifestyle, update vaccinations, and to help get to know your provider in case of an illness. Queens, why is this important information, especially for Black women? Selena, let's start with you.
Well, first of all, I think all of those are great, but I think they left off minimizing stress, outside entities that cause mental disparities, mental and emotional disparities, because stress is causing disease. You know, and I also think that we have to be mindful. First of all, I do love the list. I think Black women need to take care of themselves because we take on a lot. But I also think that we have to take into consideration that a lot of Black women are fearful and haven't found the right doctors because, you know, y'all heard how the doctors, you know, these doctors out here aren't taking us seriously. You know what I'm saying?
I want to add to that, Selena.
With that.
Definitely, because I want to add to that because pharmaceutical is a big business, you know, and they are not about the cure. They are about the Band-Aid, you know what I mean? And so then you have doctors that have went to school and said that I want to become a doctor because I want to help people. But then you get some people that come through the emergency room and they won't touch them because they don't have a good enough insurance that's going to pay. But then what happened? You went to school to be a doctor to help. And so you're right about not being able to find the right doctors. I'm fearful of needles, and so anytime I get ready to give blood or get an IV or whatever, I'm like, you ever had one of those doctors that is not patient with you? And it's like, well, let me know when you're ready. And it's like, woman, be patient with me just a little bit or whatever. But they almost make you feel like they're not in the right business or whatever. And you're right about the stress, I think as being a superwoman, being a woman, period, we have so many things that, we have to suppress because we have families and we have jobs and we're around many different people. And, we got to level up and act like, things are not what they really are sometimes. We all have hidden behind the mask, no matter who you are, but sometimes you got to have that outlet to be able to say, where really can I go to be able to get some real help here?
Yeah. Vivica, what do you think about this, about women, to focus on women taking care of themselves between 40 and 64?
I'm all about it because that's when things literally seem like they start breaking down. You wake up, go to get out of bed, your knees is hurting, your back is hurting.
Work, girl.
No, I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it all the way.
Working the day, okay?
That's when you got to really start that maintenance and really looking at your health. Because they also say that, like, a lot of people after they retire, their health spirals down because they're not as busy and is not as active. So, right, it's definitely between that time is the time to pay attention, take better care of yourself. Don't get older, get better. That's what I believe in.
I think that we're all in that age group right now, and it's like it's a blessing and a curse that you still look younger than you really are, because it's kind of misleading. You think I'm good, but really your insides are, 40, 50 something, they up there. And I think it's easy to get caught up with, well, I look healthy and I look good for my age, but there's probably some things under the hood I got to address. And I got to admit, I have to do better at that. Like, I definitely need to do better at that, because this is where you can kind of catch some things before they become a real issue. And again, you ladies both eloquently spoke on how Black women, they don't really take our pain seriously and our symptoms. They, here's 2 aspirin, send you home. And they don't really do the thorough evaluation. Don't let them do that. Yeah. Demand it, because we get that. And then we also get, we're more susceptible to so many more things because of our diets and genetics and environment. So we're kind of burning the candle on both ends. Like, we're getting, we're not getting the proper attention. And then we're also more prone. So ladies in this age group, I mean, I know it's scary, the mammograms, the checkups, the blood, we got to stay on an extra. And I'm the first to admit that I have not been on point like I need to. So I need to do that my damn self. So we need to all probably hold each other accountable in our group chat while we're sending dirty videos.
I know that's right. And, just can I say that there's one lady who helped me to balance out my life, and that's Dr. Gail Jackson here in Los Angeles. And I've mentioned her before that, ladies, like you said, we're going through that things where your body's changing. As they say, we're going through the change. Mm-hmm. But the main way I'm like Lisa Ray, I hate needles. Especially when you got to get blood and things like that. It's like, I can take them for other things, but something about giving blood or when you got to get an IV freaks me out. I don't know why. But Dr. Gail Jackson was the one doctor who made me comfortable. She was like, sweetheart, the only way that I can help you is I have to check your levels. And it was like, okay, you're right. She just gave me tough love. She was honest with me, and she changed my entire life. She really did. So ladies, don't be afraid to check your levels.
How hard it is to keep a journal of what you do in your life. Like, I'll start by saying, I'm going to fast for 14 days and let me write down what I'm, going to eat so I can check my levels. And I will get to day 4 or 7 and just come in. And it's like, this is for you. Why you keep going up and down? You 10 pounds over, go break it on down. 7, now you 15. It's like, and then my face, get like pie face. And then I'm like,
I'm swollen right now. I'm a small face.
I'm like,
I'm so sick of these damn jowls. I'm like, what is that? What's going on?
It's, it is what it is. And I think and you all bring up another good point. We got to give ourselves grace. We got to be okay with not being okay sometimes, because that's real life. And we also got to understand that life is not as short as we think. You know, there are moments where we're not going to always be perfect, but there are moments that we are. And there are moments that we can get back on and continue to do what's needed. We're going through life, guys. We're not going to be perfect every 5 seconds. And I know our careers and our job puts us in a predicament where we're supposed to be perfect, especially y'all. I mean, actresses, my God, today, the pressure that they put on you women to stay beautiful, stay young, stay thin, stay this, that, and the third. I mean, the pressure that they put on, well, they put it on.
Stay in the third.
God know it. I'm rubbing off on y'all. I'm rubbing off on y'all.
That from me. I've been saying that since 1600.
There's a will. There's a way.
Child, listen,
oh Lord, here we go.
We have got to give ourselves grace. I mean, we are. Look at you all. You all are drop dead gorgeous.
We are
women in their women in their 20s and 30s that are aspiring to look like us in our age. So you got to sometimes sit back and be like,
right.
Okay, I ain't do class day 4, but I'm still like that, and I still feel good, and I'm still popping. I'm booking shows, you know. I'm booking, getting movies. I'm getting hosting gigs. Like y'all are still booked and busy and beautiful.
Oh my! Right just now, when you said that, my dental implant feels like it's coming loose. Cocktails with the Queens. I'll definitely be going to the dentist tomorrow and patching up my teeth. All right, y'all. Check out what this NFL podcaster said about Ciara. He done made me mad. He said, "You gonna leave Future and go to Russell Wilson? He's so goddamn square." What do you think about this? He went in on this like he had an issue. He was giving me he had a crush on Future. Like the way he was like on Future, I was like, relax. Maybe that's your type.
Yeah, he said that like Future was a catch. It was weird.
He does know that Future's got like what 8 or 9 kids by 8 or 9 different
damaged goods.
But that doesn't mean he's not a catch for somebody else.
Yeah, I mean,
compared to Russell, no,
a guy that just signed a $140 million contract, has no children, is good looking, loves the Lord, against Future.
Somebody that cheat on me.
Somebody that might have a baby on me while I'm pregnant. I don't know about you guys, but I'm signing up for the square guy.
That's easy. That's easy money. And he probably looks square to them, but I bet you he ain't square to her.
Let me tell you
what he be doing. We don't know what Russell be doing.
I don't know what he talking about. Russell Wilson is fine.
He is fine.
Yes, he is.
Good. Like, why won't people let Ciara have growth? I feel like they've been really coming for her. Like, you know, that ain't your type. Just you can have a guy like Future, and I'm sure she saw some good things in Future. As much as we give him hell, I'm sure there was some charming things about him that she liked about him, obviously. And then it didn't work out, and then you go on and you try something else. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same result. So when she does something else, why does she get penalized? Like, oh, that ain't real. That ain't her type. You changed. I don't date the same people I dated when I was 17, dating around the way, local drug dealer that runs when he sees the police. I'm not doing that anymore.
It sounds like jealousy. It's giving jealousy.
It really is. It really is. You know what? It is sad because they're so happy. Like, why rain on their parade?
Hey, Saray, what do you think about this? Why won't they let Ciara just, like, they be coming for her? Like,
first of all, let me just say that picture that we just showed, honey, they was basking in somebody's son on vacation somewhere.
Okay.
That's first of all. Okay, I had to get past that.
That's so fun. I don't know what
and second of all, you're absolutely right. Sometimes when you go for the bad boy or pretty boy Floyd, that doesn't work out. And so you say to yourself, let me try something different because I might be kissing all these frogs and not over here looking at the tadpole or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? We switch it, you know, and that's what we do. And you try to go outside of your comfort zone and see if you can find something else. And she found something else. She found someone to be able to love her, and she loves him because she giving them kids. She giving them love. They work for each other. If they like it, we love it.
I'd like to know if that guy that's hating on Russell, does he have a woman?
And there's that
part.
You know, the whole corny thing, when you get older, That's not when you want the hot boy in the club that stands on couches with bottles. That's cute for a certain time in your life, but there's nothing wrong with wanting to try something else. And he's a classy, great catch. What's wrong with that, y'all?
I know I'm looking for a gentleman. I know I am. And he could be.
You celebrate, not tolerate. She went with celebrate.
You know, and he don't know how Russell is behind them. No,
that's what I'm saying. You don't know he is square.
Sometimes them squares be the biggest freaks. It's all I can say about that. We're gonna take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back, y'all. The Cocktails with the Queens. I'm seeing a lot of love for Sierra and Russell in the chat. We got for the most part, our soulmates got a lot of common sense. Like they see what it is. Speaking of common sense, this person didn't have some. This doctor was off the chain. Real quick, a New York woman by the name of Morgan Hellquist says she screamed and sobbed when she learned, ladies, that her gynecologist, Dr. Morris Warman, who she'd been seeing for 9 years, is actually her biological father, who secretly used his own sperm to inseminate her mama back in 1985. All right. So in 1985, her mom, went to the same doctor and she wanted to get pregnant. And she thought she was getting the sperm of an anonymous medical student. She didn't know that her doctor was using his own sperm to get her pregnant. So in 2016, this lady found multiple half siblings. And in 2021, they discovered that the doctor had fathered them all. And the most sickening part is the doctor, he knew that he was her daddy while he was treating her as her gynecologist. How gross is that? So she filed a lawsuit and fertility fraud. What do y'all think about this horrific? Imagine you're a gynecologist, you'd be talking about blah, 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 blah. Can you check, blah, blah, blah. When was your last period? All your private stuff. And you find out later on, that's your daddy.
See, this is too much. You know what? That's why there's no trust. You know what I mean? Because you can't put nothing past nobody no more. Because while you being super smart, going to school to become this doctor, you becoming weirded the hell out. Dude, that's crazy. That's a mind fart. I can't talk.
Lisa Ray, God bless you for trying not to. You're doing a great job. You didn't swear.
Appreciate that. I'm just gonna say this. That's nasty. That's nasty, you weirdo.
What was you getting out of that? Like all them years, he was like, so when was your last period? Have you done a breast exam?
And rubbing her breast and then looking in the cooter. I mean, like, ooh, Dad.
Serious mental illness. It's some crazy people running around here. Doesn't matter if you have a MD or not. You could be just as crazy. Like, I agree with Lisa Ray too. And see, like again, this is why it's so hard for Black women to find doctors. Man, it's like maybe we should just go get women doctors. Black women, just be with Black women, just stay with the Black women.
Do medical people, do they ever take like mental stuff? Because like, remember the guy that did the stuff with the little gymnast, a whole bunch of them? Right. I just wonder, do they ever do any mental evaluations along with passing, whatever it is to become?
I doubt it. I think now that's something they need to start. Yep, we need to start doing that across the board with every job.
Every job. But anybody that's put in a position of power.
Because people probably just assume they're straight, but they might be cray-cray. Like, clearly, this is weird. Okay, y'all, let's end on a high note. In honor of the Grammy Awards that happened last night, it is only right that we take a look at some of the red carpet moments and play a game of Hot or Not.
Yes.
Ladies, are you ready?
Ready.
Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. First up, Sweetie, hot or not? Sweetie.
She had on pink. I saw her look. She was rocking her short little hairdo. I say hot, pretty in pink.
I like her. She's giving me diamonds are a girl's best friend.
She's definitely bringing that old Hollywood glamour back with a new spin. I like it. Megan Thee Stallion, hot or not? Megan Thee Stallion. Ooh, yes.
Okay. Megan killed all Grammy, the couple of days parties, all of her posts. I went and looked from the silver dress to the black dress to this red carpet. Hot.
That silver dress is hot. Yep. I to wear it too.
She looked good. Lil Nas X, hot or not? Lil Nas X.
It's giving me a little Garanimals. You know what I mean? Like match the shirt with the thing. Garanimals. I wish he would try a different look. I really do. Okay. Not bad, but I just wish he would surprise us with something. Like I would love to see him just show up with like a beautiful suit on and just.
I don't know. He looked like he was going to the moon to me.
Yeah,
maybe he was after the show.
Minus the butterfly, he was okay. I thought it was all right. It was, I mean, I expect that from him. It was nice and neat, you know.
It was predictable, Selena.
Let's get into this. Tiffany Haddish. She looked good. Custom. Yes, this is what success looked like. This is what
money looked like. You know what? Whoever has helped, who's ever been dressing Tiffany lately has been dead on. Like she, from the Oscars to all of her looks lately, this award season, she's been looking absolutely fabulous and royal.
Yes.
And everything's come together. The makeup, the hair, the clothes, very polished, and she's given Hollywood success. Like
yes, honey, baby, that like finger wave that she's rocking, I love it.
Okay, real quick, Billy Porter, hot or not? Billy Porter.
What in the
like he's gonna be in a choir to me.
It's like him and Sweetie came together.
Okay.
Them and called each other, was like, "What you wearing, girl?"
Nah.
It was like, okay,
I'm not a big fan of the extra long cape. It was a lot of material. I hate when I hate when an outfit is wearing you and you're not wearing the outfit.
If we can squeeze
it gets it right. So I don't know.
If we can squeeze this one in when we got like 10, 20 seconds after this. Lenny Kravitz, hot or not?
Yes.
Oh, he looks so small.
Rock star.
I love this look. I just love him. He's
hot.
He's sexy. Okay, we can do no wrong here with the queens. I want to thank Lisa Ray, Selena Johnson, and Vivica A. Fox for another fun show. And stick around. Oh, thank you so much, soulmates, for watching us on YouTube. We appreciate y'all. Stick around for the Pulse. And we won't see you next week. I'll be celebrating my birthday, and hopefully the ladies will come to Miami and join me. Bye, queens.
Bye, queen.
Bye.